y'all, I'm getting ready to make some chicken sausage and ravioli. Well, it's going to be a ricotta ravioli bake. So right now I'm going to go ahead and cook my chicken sausage in the skillet. So y'all, these are the sausages right here that I have. These are links. I'm going to fry these up and let them cook all the way through. These aren't cooked, but these are stuffed with spinach and feta cheese. So I'm just going to add these to my pan with my olive oil and let them cook up real quick. Get nice and brown in my pan. Okay. And then I have a pot over here. You guys can't really see in my pot. Okay, so in that pot right there, I'm gonna go ahead and add in my ravioli, which these are the store-bought ravioli. So this is the chicken and roasted garlic ravioli, and I'm just gonna follow the package directions. But these do have chicken breast inside with some oven roasted garlic. Okay, so I'm not gonna cook the whole bag. I'll probably do like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and cook the whole bag. My daughter told me not to, but I'm gonna cook it anyway. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and let those ravioli cook. We want them a little bit al dente. Okay, and then once those finish cooking, then we'll drain the water off. We'll let our sausages cook real quick. This skillet is really hot because it's been sitting on here for a long time. But I just want to get those nice and cooked through before we add everything together. And everything is going to be very quick. Very, 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 very quick. Okay, this is not going to take long. I do have some fresh broccoli that I cut up here, so that's also going to go into our dish. So once we get through cooking our sausage, I would say like midway through, we're going to go ahead and then we're going to add our broccoli into the pan once we cut up our sausages. And like I said, my skillet is hot. I had to turn it down. But we're cooking pretty fast. So I did get my iron turned down because like I said, it was so hot. Okay, once we cook these down and once I slice everything up and add in my broccoli, we're also going to add in these minced garlic. I don't have any fresh garlic, guys. I ran out of fresh garlic. Okay, and we're just going to get everything cooked. So I have two chicken sausages right here in this pan, y'all. So this is what it looks like as of right now. Okay, but I gotta let these get cooked all the way through. And I hope nobody, is anybody, hello, I don't know who you are, but hello. And thank you for watching my video. If you like my video, will you please subscribe to my channel and like it and share it with other people. Okay. And then leave me a comment and tell me if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see me cook on here. So we got our pasta over here, our ravioli. We're gonna cook these. Okay, we want them pretty al dente. Okay. And then once everything's cooked, also once we add all of our ingredients together, we're going to put it in a baking dish and we're going to put it in the oven and let it finish cooking for about 15-20 minutes. And like I said, these chicken are stuffed with spinach and feta cheese. Okay. So as you can see, I don't know if you can see the sausages. So we're just going to let these cook through. And y'all, where are y'all watching me from? Because I know some of you on here from different countries. Where are you tuning in from? Y'all, these sausages are from Central Market. I don't know where you're from, but they're like in the meat section, um, where you can go and like the meat department. So you have to go and where they weigh it and measure it or whatever, and you can get it by the pound. But I just got 2 of these sausages. I'm cooking for my daughter. She asked me if I was cooking today, and I said no. But when she got off work, she hadn't eaten, so I was like, oh, maybe I can cook you something quick. So this is a very quick dish, okay? These, like I said, the package of ravioli were already pre-cooked. For those of you who weren't able to see when I first tuned in, this is what the pack of ravioli looks like. Okay, so it comes with this small pack. It's a 10-ounce pack. And we got 2 sausages, so once these cook, we're going to let them cool off for a minute before we cut them up. And then we're going to add in our fresh broccoli to cook in the same pan that we cooked our sausages in. Okay, and I do, like I said, I don't have any fresh garlic, so I am going to use this minced garlic, and it does have parsley in here. And I also chopped up some fresh green onions to add to our dish. And so we're just going to make like an Alfredo sauce to go with our pasta. And then we're going to finish baking everything in the oven. Okay, once we get all of our ingredients together. So you guys, you see this side? So we want this to look like this all the way around, and I'm dripping grease everywhere. But yeah, so just make sure that you get all sides brown and that your chicken is cooked, okay? And remember, we are going to cut up our sausages, okay? We're going to cut them up in like julienne slices, okay? So we do want them to get brown on all sides, guys. Okay. And make sure you guys keep an eye on your pasta, okay? You don't want it to cook too long, and you don't want it to start coming apart, okay? This is what our ravioli looks like, okay? But we want to make sure that it's cooked, that the pasta is cooked all the way through. And I'm going to leave this alone because I don't want it to break apart. Where? Petersburg, Ontario. Oh, well, thank you for tuning in all the way from Canada. Hello. Chase Crazy. Is that Chase Crazy? Guys, I wish I could just talk to you because I'm a talker. I love to talk, but if you want to ask me a question, put it in the comment section. Maybe I'll see it, maybe I won't. But if I get to see it, maybe I can answer it. I would love to be able to answer your questions. Yeah, I can't get my sausages to stay in one place, so I'm trying to get them brown. Okay. Okay, you guys, maybe just a couple more minutes on our ravioli, and then I'm gonna drain it, and then we're just gonna put it to the side for a minute until we finish cooking our sausages. And you guys, I promise this dish does not take long at all. It's not going to take that much time. Okay, I'm gonna turn this heat up some more. You guys see? Can you see the chicken sausages? Y'all, these are our chicken sausages right here. And just kind of trying to flip these over. I'm not trying to disturb them too much, but I do want them to be cooked. Okay, and you guys see how good our sausages are looking? They're getting nice and brown, so we're just gonna keep cooking them for a few more minutes, okay? I just wanna make sure they're cooked. I would say cook your sausage for at least 15-20 minutes before removing them from the stove. My heat is turned down pretty low. It was up too high, so I had to turn it down because I didn't want to just burn them or cook them too fast on the outside and then the inside didn't get cooked. Okay, so in about 2 minutes, I'm going to remove my pasta from this pot, and I'm just going to put them in a little casserole dish until our other, until everything else is cooked, guys. I'll give that, like I said, about a minute and a half. This is what, you see this brown color? You see the brown color on the sausage? That's what we want, okay? We want them nice and brown. Okay, no pale sausage over here. We want them nice and brown on all sides, guys. And this is a good, easy, quick meal for even people who don't know how to cook or necessarily know their way around the kitchen. I mean, you're not making the sausage. The sausage are already pre-made. All you have to do is just make sure they're cooked through. You can cook them on top of the stove. You can even put these in the oven on a low temperature and just keep an eye out so you don't burn them. And then the pasta, anybody should be able to put some water in the pot and put the pasta, the ravioli, right into the water and just let it cook. And you're simply just following the directions on your package. And you see how this sausage looks? It's getting nice and brown. So I'm going to grab a plate to put the sausage on once it's done cooking here. And then I'll be able to give you a better view of what this sausage looks like. Okay, and while this is finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and take this pasta and drain it, guys. Okay. Okay, I got my pasta drained. So in this casserole dish right here, I am just going to dump my pasta right in here, okay? And like I said, while everything else is getting cooked, I'm just going to sit this to the side, okay? This is our pasta. We're just going to put it to the side, and we're going to turn off our iron here, and we're going to let this sausage continue to cook, okay? So, no harm, no foul. All right, that's what we're doing, okay? So, in a minute, but what I'm going to do, I also got some mushrooms, guys. Let me show you. I got these big portobello mushrooms. I've already pre-washed these. Now, guys, most chefs, they will tell you do not wash your mushrooms. You just take a paper towel and wipe them. Well, because I did this ahead of time, so I washed them, and of course they are nice and dry now, so they're not wet and they're not going to absorb all that water. But even still, we're going to put these in some chicken broth. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that same pot that I had earlier, and I'm going to add my mushrooms to it, okay? Or you know what? I think what I'll do is wait. I'll wait until I finish cooking my chicken. My chicken sausage, I should say. Okay? So these are definitely getting more color to them, as you can see. They're getting a lot more color. Okay? Now I'm still not quite convinced, so I'm just going to cook them for a couple more minutes or so before removing them, and then I'm going to let them sit for a minute before I cut into them. And that way I can take in this same pot here, or this same skillet, and add in my broccoli with my garlic and my green onions, okay? Before we start making our cream base, because we are going to make a Alfredo sauce to put it with our pasta and our chicken sausage, okay? So I'm definitely liking the way that this is starting to look. The color is coming through nicely. So, like I said, I'm just going to give it a couple more minutes, okay, before I move on. start putting, building my flavor profile, guys. So we'll give that a couple minutes, okay? And then you'll be able to see exactly what we're doing. These are almost ready. Okay, these are almost ready. We're definitely getting there. And something else that I'm going to add to this that I normally don't do, we're going to add in a little bit of cream cheese with chives and onions to our sauce. So I hope you stay tuned so you can see how that turns out. But y'all, these sausages are definitely looking amazing. Okay. Now, I'm going to move that out the way for a minute so you can see the sausage. So this is what the sausage looks like right now. I'm just going to let that sit for a minute before I cut them, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wipe out my pan gently. I'm going to add in a little bit of butter, and we're going to add in the broccoli, okay? Okay, so I just wiped this pan out a little bit. I definitely didn't wash it out because I still want those flavors. So now what I'm going to do is take about 2 tablespoons of butter, and we're just going to drop it in this pan, guys. Okay, we're going to drop it in our pan. All right, we're going to let that melt down. And as that's melting down, I'm going to add in, I'm going to say, well, let's see. This is maybe like a teaspoon, but you know, I'll just add in some more, so I'll say about 2 teaspoons of this minced garlic with the parsley, okay? And we're going to add in our chopped green onions. I would say about maybe 2 tablespoons of green onions here. So that's going in. Okay, and we're just going to stir this around, okay? Okay, we don't want to burn our garlic because, guys, it will burn. So just be careful and continue to stir, but we're just wanting to lock in that flavor of the garlic, okay? And we're basically infusing the garlic flavor with our butter. So now that that's all melted, we're going to take our fresh broccoli and dump it right on in, okay? Now, this is probably only like 1 cup of broccoli. I didn't have any more, so this is what I have, but I would suggest you use 2 cups of broccoli in your dish if you have it on hand. So, I'm going to stir this around for a minute. And now that our sausages are cooked, I'm going to take and put our sausages on a cutting dish, and then I am just going to cut these in a diagonal. These are hot too. So we're going to make some diagonal cuts into our sausage. Okay. Like I said, I don't want to break this sausage either. Okay. I should have waited for a few minutes, but that's okay. So once we get these cut up, we're going to add them back into our pan with the garlic and the butter and the broccoli. Okay, so we're just going to add these in. All right, now that we got them chopped up like you like. Okay, now I did reserve about another 2 tablespoons of green onions to put on top of our dish, just like as a garnish. Okay, you guys give me a second and I'll show you exactly what this is looking like here. Okay, so now that we got our chicken all chopped up and we added it back in our pan, we're going to add in just a little bit of, we're going to add in our cream cheese with onions and chives. I'm only going to put in about 2 tablespoons, okay, of this cream cheese. So, and I would say, I would just make a guesstimate to say this is about 2 tablespoons, okay? We're just going to dump that right on in there, okay? And we want to make sure that's all smooth before we add in our chicken stock, okay? And don't worry, guys, we haven't added any type of salt or anything yet, but that's okay, okay? We just want to make sure this gets all nice and smooth and cooked down before we start adding the broth, okay? So, turn that up a little bit. And guys, doing it this way, like adding your cream cheese in first, especially that it has the chives and the onions, it's just gonna infuse the flavor. That's all it's doing, okay? And we just want to stir that around, okay? We don't want any lumps or anything, okay? So we want it nice and smooth so that our sauce will be creamy, okay? That's what we want. And you can see the mixture of sausage with the broccoli and the cream cheese, okay? Okay, so that is looking pretty good. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn up my heat, okay, because we're going to add in a little bit of chicken broth, okay? So I have organic chicken stock, so this is what I'm adding here, okay? And I'm not going to add too much, okay? So basically enough just to barely coat the bottom of the pan. That's all I'm doing, okay? So not a lot, not too much, okay? Because we're going to add some heavy cream, which is, I have heavy whipping cream here, so that's what I'm going to add in here. And right now, while this is cooking, okay, like it is, I'm going to go ahead and add in some Creole seasoning here. This is the Tony's blend, so I'm just going to go ahead and season that, okay? And then I'm also going to add some Italian seasoning here, okay? This is a dried Italian seasoning, so I would say maybe a half to 3/4 of a teaspoon. Guys, the problem is I don't measure anything. So, and then of course I'm going in with some garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder with some black pepper. And I am going to add in some of my sea salt. So this is the black pepper that I'm adding. Like I said, I don't measure. This is just the way I do. Okay, now that that has come to like sort of a boil, I'm going to turn my iron back down once again. And then I'm just going to add in some salt. Now this doesn't need a lot of salt because everything we're cooking with, you got the chicken sausage here that's packed with flavor. So that's going to give you that salt that you're looking for. Also remember we're going to add in Parmesan cheese, so that's salty itself. And then we got other cheeses that we're also adding to this dish. So just be careful with the salt, and especially if you're not an expert in the kitchen. So now that we got our broccoli cooked, make sure your broccoli is not too soft. You really don't want this to be soft like that, okay? You want your broccoli to hold up in your dish. So now that we've got that out the way, I am going to add in, I would say maybe a cup. I'm going to start with the cup, okay? And we're going to see how that does, okay? Because this is going to be a nice sauce, okay? And we've already added in some butter. We're not going to add any more butter. Okay, so that's looking okay. That's about a cup of heavy cream. So now I'm just going to go in and maybe add like another half of a cup. Because remember, this has got to also coat our pasta as well. Okay, which I'm going to go ahead and add into this dish. So just go ahead, guys. Put in the 2 cups, okay? This is going to be hearty, okay? If you want to make it hearty, make it hearty. It's already a little unhealthy, so you might as well enjoy it, okay? All right, so now that we have that, okay, I hate that. Okay. So what I'm going to do is add in my Parmesan cheese. And you know what? Just for the sake of whatever, I'm going to add in a little bit more garlic into here. What do you want and what do you need? Okay, go ahead. Nobody can see you. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in here. I told you nobody can see you. Yeah, you're good. All right, so that's what we're doing. Okay, so I added a little bit more garlic because everything is better with garlic. Okay, so now that we got that done, we are going to go ahead and add back into our pasta that we have, guys. I'm gonna add our pasta in here. Okay. Make sure to separate your pasta. Okay, you don't want it like, I would say what they call clumped together. So we're going to go ahead and separate the pasta, okay? Uh-oh, see that one broke apart, which is something I didn't want to happen. That is going to be okay, okay? Don't worry about it. If you make mistakes in the kitchen, just keep rolling with it, okay? It's not going to be the end of the world. Okay, so I only have to worry about that one piece that broke apart. Okay, and this, like I said, it looks so good. I'm going to go ahead, which I should have just added my Parmesan cheese before I did this, guys, but it's too late. And plus, I got a little distracted, so I'm going to go ahead and add this in. I would say that's about a half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Don't add too much on the cheese. Now I'm gonna have to be real careful here because I did that a little bit backwards, so I'm gonna have to be careful not to break the pasta. So while I got that going, I'm going to turn this iron on, because remember I told you that's what I was going to do. So I am going to turn this on, and I am going to grab some chicken stock, okay, for our mushrooms, okay. What I'm going to do before I do that is I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to this pan, and I'm probably going to use the rest of the garlic, the minced garlic that I have in my little jar. I'm running out, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in here real quick. Okay, so I want to do it this way, so I'm going to go ahead and add that garlic in there. Okay, that's about a teaspoon of garlic. That's just what it is. So I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes before I add my mushrooms in there. I'm going to add the mushrooms in before I add in my chicken stock, guys. So this, I have some chicken stock here, and I'm going to stir this around, okay, like this. I'm going to just stir the garlic. You can't see over here, guys. I'm so sorry. Forget it. That was supposed to be turned down. So trying to move this, like I said, very gently. Okay, we want that sauce to thicken up, but we don't want to disturb the pasta. Okay, because this pasta is gonna go into the oven. I'm pretty sure it's okay. It'll thicken up in the oven as it's cooking. So I'm going to let this cook for about 5 more minutes here, just until this cheese is nice and melted. I'm going to add in some Kobe and Monterey Jack cheese as well to this dish. You guys, y'all didn't tell me I had stuff in my hair, but anyway, that's besides the point. So okay, I'm gonna add this in here like this. Okay, and that's about another half a cup, so I would say altogether about a cup of cheese. Okay, now you can always add more cream if you need it, but I don't think that's necessary. So I'm going to put a lid on here real quick, just so our cheese can melt. And once this melts down, we're going to put this in a casserole dish, and we're going to put the cheese on top of it. So now that you hear this simmering, you hear garlic, I'm going to take those mushrooms that we have. Now these are some pretty thick portobello mushrooms. I'm just going to take these and dump them in here like that, okay? Alright, so we're going to saute these in our pan for just a minute, probably like 5 minutes or so. I just want them to cook with the garlic and the olive oil, and I'm going to add in some salt and pepper, and then we're going to put in our chicken broth. I'm going to put a lid on here, and we're pretty much going to set this, and we're going to forget it. Okay, and you can cut these in half, but you know what, it's up to you how you want to do it. It doesn't matter. Okay, so I got a lid on here on our pasta that we are going to put into our casserole dish. This is our casserole dish, that pan that we're going to put this in. I'm just going to butter the inside of the pan so the pasta doesn't stick to it. Okay, so I'm just going to coat it with some butter real quick. And of course, this is real butter. This is not margarine. So I say use real butter instead of the margarine. And once we put our pasta in the oven, we're just going to work on our mushrooms, guys. And you can also, one other thing that I would suggest, if you don't like broccoli, you could definitely do spinach. You can also put in like some sun-dried tomatoes. That would be really good in this dish. I'm leaving the sun-dried tomatoes out because guess what? I'm making this for my daughter, and she does not like the sun-dried tomatoes. Okay? So, be creative. Use your imagination. If you wanted to substitute regular chicken for this, you could. You could also do a salmon in here. That would probably be good. You could do shrimp as well, and that would be something that would be good. Or you can do it shrimp and sausage. Okay? So just be creative. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take and I'm going to turn this off. And then I am going to put this into our casserole dish. Okay. So let me stir these real quick. Okay. then we can turn that off. Got that turned off. So before we put our cheese on top of here, this is what our pasta is looking like. Okay, so we're going to just put cheese on top of it, grilled cheese. I'm going to add that on top. Guys, I gotta wash my hands real fast. Wash my hands. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what it looks like. I did have some cheese also that I shaved along with the shredded cheese. So we're just going to get this in the oven. I got my oven on 425, so that is turned up pretty high. And I am going to go ahead and put our pasta with the broccoli and chicken sausage into the oven. Okay, so we're going to, in real time, see what this looks like after it comes out of the oven, guys, okay? So bear with me. I'm going to give that about 15 minutes in the oven or so. Okay, so just long enough for that cheese to get nice and melted. And then we're going to add in some green onions on top just for garnishing. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Okay, that's simple and easy. Very quick, not too complicated. So right now, since we got this cooking up, as you can see, these are our mushrooms that we have here that we're sauteing. So what I'm going to do, since we're sauteing them, we're going to go ahead and put our seasoning on here, okay? We want them nice and seasoned and flavorful. Okay. Alright, so now we're going to add in our chicken stock, okay? And we're going to turn it up, and we're going to cook these down, okay? So turning it up on pretty high, okay? Do you want? Okay, so that's how our mushrooms look right now. We're going to put our lid on here, guys, and then we're going to let this cook while our pasta is in the oven. And I am going to go ahead and start straightening up. So you guys just keep watching. Hello, everybody. I don't know your names, but hello. Alrighty. Okay, so now maybe I can see what the comments are saying, because before I couldn't really talk and do all that at the same time. I don't know how some people are on here and they just talk and read the comments and try to cook and do all that at the same time, guys. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out sooner or later on. But I'm excited for you to see this dish, and I'm also excited to share with you that, you know, it doesn't take long. Okay, it doesn't really take long at all. So simple, so quick, and so easy. And you could be out of the kitchen literally in a jiffy, you know. Oh Lord, that's too hot. Shouldn't do that. Don't do that while it's that hot. Okay. Please don't do it while it's real hot like that. Okay. But like I said, I do want you to see the final outcome. I really do. So just stay tuned. And we'll check on that pasta in just a second. Okay, so what's that? I can't read that. Inery. Hello, Inery or Inir. You guys, my eyes, I can't see. I'm sorry. Hello. Y'all, please hit that like, that subscribe button for me, please. Check on these mushrooms, guys. And like I said, these are not anything fancy. They're just mushrooms. And if you like mushrooms, you know, they're really good as long as you season them well or whatever. So, and y'all, I'm just gonna move whatever this is on the top of my screen if I can. There we go. Okay, I got one person in here. I don't know who this one person is. Let me know your name. Are you Anir? Oh, alrighty. Oh, Claire. Hi, Claire. Claire, right now we have our pasta baked in the oven, so it's gonna come out in a few minutes. So I hope you stick around so you can just see the final product of what the pasta looks like. And thank you once again for tuning in and watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And y'all, you really don't know how much of my comfort zone that I'm stepping out of doing this. Or I don't know why I sprayed this while it was hot. Now it's got my stove looking so dull, but it's okay. Shall be okay. All right. Does anybody like mushrooms? I know a lot of people don't like mushrooms for whatever reason, but I don't know why that is. Most people are like, oh, it's just a fungus, but there's so many different varieties too of mushrooms, I feel like. So you really can't go wrong. Like, there's some mushrooms that taste like chicken. You can make it taste like whatever you want, actually. I could have stuffed these, but I just wanted to give you something simple and basic. Nothing too much or over the top, okay? Mushrooms are very easy to cook, so it really doesn't require a lot, you know? Yeah. And you guys, I'm gonna have to find a way to start filming like from a different angle because I feel like you really can't see everything. So it's just gonna take me some time to get all the technology stuff worked out. And I feel like eventually I'll find my niche and find out like what works best for me. But right now, I'm just like a one-person show, and so this is what it is for now. I'm gonna turn my oven light on so I can see inside the oven real quick. Okay, let's see what we got in there. Okay, so our pasta is looking pretty dang on good, guys. It really is. Let me see if I can open it because my oven's so broken. Okay, so I'm gonna give this about 5 more minutes too. Okay, just about 5 more minutes before I take it out the oven, and then you guys will get to see what it looks like. Now I'm pouring some of the liquid off of my mushrooms, just because I want to hurry up and show you guys. Okay. Just want to, yeah. I feel like I took off too much of the liquid, but it's okay. I'm gonna add in a little bit of butter to our mushrooms. I'm not gonna add any more seasoning because I think they're seasoned quite enough. So. All right. And I'm just gonna take a little bit of the green onions and also add inside of our mushrooms, okay? And then, once this is all nice and melted, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to turn off the iron, okay? Okay. Okay, let's see if we can get, did I turn it off? No, I didn't. Okay, so I'm just going to put our mushrooms in here. And they are nice and lovely. They smell really good. I think that butter just takes them to another level. Like I said, there's so many different types of mushrooms you can make. You can make stuffed mushrooms. If you like, you can fry your mushrooms. It's really up to you how you want to do it. Now I'm going to take and pour some of this liquid over the top. Okay. So So now that we have that, just gonna add a little bit more fresh onions over here. Okay, so you guys, these are our mushrooms, okay? These are just simple, basic mushrooms, okay? Nothing fancy, nothing over the top, nothing too drastic or major. And anybody can do that, okay? It's real simple, real easy, and it doesn't take a long time, okay? It doesn't take, ooh, am I gonna, guys, my oven is still broke, but you know, that's my fault. Okay, so let's take a look at our pasta, guys. Let's take a look. We're gonna take this out, and I'm gonna try to not burn myself since I'm doing this with one hand. You guys, do you see this pasta? I'm going to have to move this so you can see it. Okay, I'm gonna have to let you guys in so that way you can see. Okay, that's hot right there. Okay. All right, I'm going to put this over here as well, and then I'm going to let you guys see it and let you take a look. Okay, so I'm going to move you guys. Okay, I'm going to flip the camera around if I can. Let me see, I can't flip it. Can I flip it? Okay, well, anyway, can you guys see that pasta right there? Okay, so that's our pasta. All right, so this is chicken sausage and ricotta ravioli, and I just baked it in a cream sauce with Alfredo, and of course we got cheese on top, and then of course we got our mushrooms in the back. So do try this for your family. You can also make some type of like bread. You can do a garlic bread. You can do some type of rustic bread. Anything you like. It's the choice is yours. And like I said, I'm just topping this off with some garnish. These are just fresh green onions. So you do how you like for your family. Like I said, the sky's the limit. Go back and watch this video. If you want, like I said, you can go ahead and add you in some sun-dried tomatoes in here. If you don't like the broccoli, you can go ahead and also add spinach in here. There's so many ways that you can make this dish and make it delectable. You can add some fresh tomatoes in here, like I would do like maybe a cherry tomato that you can cut up in half and add to your dish. But yes, so I hope you like this video, and I hope you make this at home, and let me know what you think. If you think the video sucks, let me know. But I will see you later, and thank you again for watching my channel. Bye.